College football has turned into a business. These kids want to get paid as they should, meaning they should be receiving funds based off their image, i.e. jersey sales, ticket sales, sponsorships while they're at school. On top of that, building their social media platforms so they can land other sponsorships. Now, I made a video about a week ago where I spoke to this and what Coach Prime and who is backing him, and it had some backlash, negative backlash, again, which none was intended because this is where the way of college football is going. Now, obviously, the term pay to play has been thrown around a lot recently due to the new college rules and what's going on with NIL, but the way that it was supposed to work and that it was intended to work, again, was through name, image, and likeness, i.e., again, the ticket sales or building up your social media brand. And this is where Coach Prime starts to separate himself from the rest of the college coaches. Spoke last night in our podcast about Coach Prime and what he's been able to do and what he's bringing to the surface of college football. And I had a friend of mine who said, look, he's not a fan of it because it's different. It changes the game.
Somebody on Twitter told me that I was offended by how Deion dismissed the player. I didn't even care how he dismissed the player. Do you realize that goes on in a locker room all the time? Like,
Sure.
Players get dismissed no matter what style or which style you do it in. They get dismissed, right? They don't need an HBO special about it, man.
I love his opinion. I love his take on it. He's not a fan of Coach Prime recording, filming everything, as most college fans who have been here since the beginning, been watching since day one, are not. Me, however, I love it. I love being able to see inside. I love being able to understand what's going on day to day, especially if you're a full-blown Colorado Buff fan. You want to know what's going on with your team on and off the season, not just during college football season. So what does this have to do with NIL, and how is this helping out? What's Coach Prime actually bringing? Well, because all eyes are on Coach Prime right now because he's doing something that nobody else is doing, everybody wants to know what's going on in Colorado. The same reason why Way of Media, his son's YouTube channel, has over 31 million views in just 30 days. So let's take a listen and see what Coach Prime has done thus far and how this is going to translate for NIL into recruiting here in just 1 second. So first things first, Coach Prime has landed himself a $7 million Super Bowl commercial. Now, he was in one last year as well, but now his entire family is going to be in this one. At a time when Colorado football and Coach Prime is at its peak, he is going to be on the national screen where every single eyeball is going to be on February 12th during Super Bowl Sunday. Number two, he has his Amazon Prime series going on right now, which obviously eyeballs are watching. So there's just more people talking about Coach Prime. Number three, he just had Lil Wayne on campus. I've always talked about how Ohio State does a phenomenal job in recruiting. One, because it's Ohio State. It's the Ohio State. They have created a brand, but it's also a rock show. When you go to an Ohio State game, everyone and anyone is there at that game. LeBron, Joey Burrow, all the stars come out to play. Past players go to Ohio State games because it's the place to be on Saturday afternoon. He's got Lil Wayne coming to Colorado. Who else will Coach Prime bring into Colorado? Again, it's going to be the place to be now, especially this coming season for Saturday. Kids want to be around that. Eyeballs are going to be on that. So how, again, does all of this that I just mentioned translate to NIL? Brandon Baker. Right now on 247 Composite, he's the #1 offensive tackle, just visited Colorado this past weekend. He was smart enough to document this journey and post it on his YouTube channel that has 747 subscribers. Not that many. However, his video that he posted of him visiting Colorado has 57,000 views. His visit to Oregon, which has been up for 3 months, has 15,000 views. Again, why is this important, Sheldon? Well, once he gets to a certain following and certain watch hours, he'll be able to monetize these visits. So if I'm Brandon Baker, I'm taking a few more visits to Colorado, and I'm documenting every single bit of it. Not to mention, if he does choose to go to Colorado, he makes content while he's at Colorado, documenting his practices, his workouts, what he's eating, his regimen, etc. Because everyone wants to know what's going on in Colorado, especially if you're that very first year, and if you are there right now, everybody wants to watch. And that translates into monetizing your YouTube channel, which turns into money, which is exactly what the NIL was meant for. He is using his name, image, and likeness to capitalize on that. There is nothing wrong with that, and it's fantastic. I keep hearing this word and this terminology that Deion is using his likeness, and this is what they mean because his likeness, his image, his ability to market himself, his ability to market Colorado, his ability to just market in general, going to appeal to a lot of these kids because I think we can all agree where college football is heading. It's turning it into a business. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. It's the way of the road right now, and you can't hate these kids. I think there's been a lot of conversation where, like, look, some of these kids don't have much when they're coming out of high school, so they're trying to collect right away. Not every kid's going to go to the NFL, so I think we all can agree that Coach Prime has a great connection to the NFL, but some of these guys need to learn business. They need to learn how to market, how to create, how to do whatever it may be. Who better to learn from than Coach Prime right now? I mean, he is literally in his prime.
I don't care who you are. That's funny right there.
And I leave you with this. The reason I'm so fascinated with this topic and why I talk about Coach Prime and all of what he's been able to do, because we've seen the same formula work and be successful over the last how many years with Nick Saban, the Kirby Smarts, the Dabos of the world, where it's very black and white. We don't get too much. It's just this and that. It's very gray, right? Very vanilla style type of just coaching. Look, it's great. Everybody loves it. It's the same old, same old. I like change. I like when the envelope's being pushed, especially when it's done with a lot of pizzazz and a lot of, thought you gonna get what I was gonna get. I love it, and I'm here for it. I'm gonna continue to watch it, continue to keep up with it, keep you guys informed. So if you guys like the content, make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn the bell on, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.